What is going on, everybody? You see a Jaguar back with GenJag.com, and it is here, guys. There are 4 teams still alive in the playoffs, and the Jaguars are amongst them. We are in the AFC Championship game, and who else are we going to face in the AFC Championship game than the New England Patriots? Quarterbacked by the GOAT, Tom Brady, one of the best NFL head coaches of all time, Bill Belichick, and this Patriot team. Now, the Patriots have pretty much been running the NFL this whole millennium, so it's going to be an extremely tough test, but a test that the Jaguars are most certainly going to be up for. So let's go ahead and preview this awesome matchup.
It's a foot race. Robinson and Browner, and it's Robinson who wins it. Touchdown, Jacksonville. His 14th win. Bortles with top, looking deep for Robinson, and the catch is.
Now, as we all know, this is going to be a very tough matchup for the Jaguars or any other team for that matter. The Patriots are a dynasty, and they are a great team, a team that has won Super Bowls upon Super Bowls these last 10-15 years. But I think the Jaguars have a blueprint to be able to beat these guys, and I will share it with you right now. Now, there are many keys to win this game. Shut down Gronk, get their running backs impact. But the main thing, the number one thing that we need to do, it starts in the trenches, and that is going to be getting pressure on Tom Brady. And this pressure really needs to be able to come from the interior of the offensive line. So guys like Marcel Darius, guys like Malik Jackson, Avery Jones, Calais Campbell even are going to be really keyed on to win this game. And now, the reason why this pass rush needs to really come from the interior as opposed to necessarily the edges is because if they come from the edge, it lets Tom Brady step up a little bit, then throw. But if it comes from the middle, then that's going to force Tom Brady to scramble, and that is not what Tom Brady is comfortable with doing. And that is one way that teams in the past, like the Broncos, Ravens, and of course the New York Giants have been able to beat the Patriots, is being able to put pressure on Brady and rattle him early and rattle him all throughout the game. So we're going to have to get consistent pressure on Tom Brady, and the pressure is going to have to come from 4-man rushes, because once you start blitzing Brady, history shows that does not work very well, as Brady is able to read a defense like it was a children's book. So we are going to have to get pressure on Brady with that 4-man front if we want any chance at winning this game. Now, earlier, a couple days ago, the Sports Fury actually hosted me on their AFC Championship game prediction. Be sure to check that out. I'll put the link to that in the link below. And they asked me, what is one player that you think will need to have a great game to be able to win this? And, you could talk about guys like Telvin Smith or guys like Jalen Ramsey, hell, even Blake Bortles. But I said Malik Jackson just because the pass rush has to be there. It all starts in the trenches, and if you allow Brady time to pass the ball, you are going to lose. Straight up, you're going to lose if you allow Brady time, because he is going to put up points, and our offense is going to have to, put up a bunch of points. And I know we put up 45 points last week, but that is not something you should expect a team to do week in and week out. Now, obviously, another thing we need to do this game is be able to try to stop Gronk. Now, it is extremely hard to stop Gronk. Not many teams are really able to do it. And, you've had teams in the past, like you wonder if Jalen Ramsey, if they are going to stick Jalen Ramsey on Gronkowski, because that's what the Broncos would do with the Aqib Talib, is basically follow him around. But, I'm not sure. I think that you will see Jalen Ramsey on Gronkowski at many points in this game, but I don't think that Jalen Ramsey is going to necessarily be following him all around the field, because if he does, the Patriots are going to be able to scheme up ways to basically eliminate Gronk and, Jalen Ramsey, and then you're going to be able to open up some good matchups for other players, basically get skilled players on favorable matchups, and they are going to be able to exploit that. So, while if Gronkowski moves out to the slot position, I could definitely see Jalen Ramsey moving out there. But, if he's lined up on the inside of the line, Gronkowski does not only catch passes well, he's also a very good run blocker. And if you have Jalen Ramsey in that kind of position, he can make tackles in the open field, but he's not going to be able to escape Gronkowski blocking him very well, just because he's not built for that. He's not a linebacker. He's not a defensive lineman. So, I would expect Jalen Ramsey to be covering him based on certain formations that they have, but I don't expect him to be shadowing him this whole game. Now, Telvin Smith and Myles Jack are going to have huge responsibilities this game to be able to shut down White and Dion Lewis. They are going to have to be on their A game because the Patriots like to utilize their running backs, whether it be through the pass game or run game. Now, they're not necessarily power backs that are going to be going in, running behind a fullback right up the middle. They're more guys that are going to be, spread out in the flats or doing like swing kind of tosses. So, the linebackers, they're going to have to play sideline to sideline, much like they have been doing the whole season. But, they're going to have to make sure to lock down the running backs. Also, the tight end like Gronkowski, I would expect Myles Jack to be lined up on Gronkowski most of the game. Definitely a big game is going to be needed from our linebackers. Now, obviously, I have not talked about the Jaguars offense yet, just because I think that our defense will ultimately be the deciding factor in this game. If you're able to shut down Tom Brady, rattle him up, I think we have a great chance to win. But when it comes to the offensive side, one thing that Bill Belichick does very well is he finds the strength of the opposing offense and shuts him down. And in our case, that's obviously Leonard Fournette. So they're going to do all they can to shut down Leonard Fournette. And hopefully what that does, it'll open up the play action for us and be able to throw the ball deep. I mean, you've seen, like in the Steelers game, for example, there were so many play actions that were working because we established a run game and they respected the run. And once they saw Leonard Fournette coming down, the linebackers would drop, and that would allow the middle of the field to be open in the soft spot of the zone. So we are going to have to try to establish a run, and if not, then we are going to have to open up the pass game a lot. Now, I would expect the Jaguars to be aggressive in the passing game early, throwing on first downs, trying some, play actions, all that kind of stuff. And, I would expect some zone run plays to be run, whether Bortles can either hand out to Leonard Fournette or run around the edge, because Blake Bortles has been a very good runner this postseason, 88 or 89 yards rushing against the Bills. Last game, he had 35 yards rushing. Second most leading rusher on the team last Sunday. So definitely utilize Blake Bortles' legs to be able to add another dimension to this offense and another wrinkle that Bill Belichick will have to figure out how to guard. Now, one thing that I do like about what Nate Hackett did last game was we were able to spread the ball out a lot. Bortles had 14 completions, but there were 9 different guys with receptions, and that opens it up a lot because there's really nobody to key in on. As you guys know, we don't really have a number 1 wide receiver, so they might try to really key in on maybe like Marquise Lee or something like that, but he's not really like a dynamic kind of playmaker. So I do expect, last game, Koyak and O'Shaughnessy both got receptions at the first drive of the game. They haven't really had receptions on the first drive of the game at any point in this season. So, they're going to try to find ways to work around getting these guys to ball. And, I definitely expect them to pull out some more tricks to be able to pull out against these guys. Now, in order to win this game, we also need Blake Bortles to have a similar performance to the one he had against the Steelers, because we're going to have to play a near perfect game to be able to beat one of the greatest teams to ever play in the NFL, the New England Patriots. These guys are a dynasty, and there's a reason why they have been in the previous 7 AFC Championship games. But if there's one overall key in this game, it's to get pressure on Tom Brady. I want pressure on Tom Brady, and then all of a sudden us to have a lead in the 3rd or 4th quarter, and then you see Josh McDaniels and Tom Brady looking on the Microsoft Server Pros being like, what the f do we do? So that is what we need to do. Get some pressure on Brady, knock him around. That's how the New York Giants were able to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl twice. You know, that's how the Broncos 2 years ago were able to advance to the Super Bowl, was getting pressure on Tom Brady. And we seem like we are the perfect team to be able to take down the Steelers, or not the Steelers, but the Patriots. Run the ball effectively, run some time off the clock. What we can't do is we can't 3 and out. We can't keep giving Brady the ball back with time to work, because as we all know, Tom Brady is a GOAT, and that just can't happen. Now, I do think the Jaguars win this game. You know, at the beginning of the week, I was very, very nervous, but it's weird. As the game approaches, I am getting less worried that we are going to lose. I don't know why. It was the exact opposite with the Steelers. As the game was approaching, I was feeling more and more nervous. But, you know, one thing that the Patriots don't have, they don't have as much firepower as the Steelers do on offense. You know, they don't have, of course they have Gronk, and, you know, of course they have Brady, but when you look at the other skill position players, sure, the Patriots have Brandon Cooks, but, you know, he's kind of underwhelmed this year in my opinion. You know, he's more of just a straight line, speedy, deep ball threat kind of guy, but, you know, they don't have Juju Smith-Schuster, Antonio Brown, Martavis Bryant, Le'Veon Bell. Granted, they have 2 really good running backs that they are able to, you know, find ways to scheme up to do well, but yeah, I think that the Jaguars do win this game. Of course, I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any chance. I do think it's going to be a close game, but I'm very much looking forward to this game, man. If the Jaguars win, we are in the Super Bowl. The Jaguars have never been in the Super Bowl before in their 20-something year franchise history, so it will already be the most successful season in Jaguar history. You know, we've been to the AFC Championship game 3 times, never advanced. And, you know, what better challenge do we have than the Patriots after knocking the Steelers off? So, that is my preview video. I hope I didn't forget anything. You know, we're going to need a near flawless game from everybody. You know, we're going to need guys to make plays, much like they did last game. It seemed like everybody, when their number was called upon, they were able to capitalize from it and make something happen. So I really hope that nobody really drops the ball. Nothing stupid, no turnovers, whether it be because of, you know, Blake Bortles throwing an interception, somebody having a stupid fumble, special teams blunder. We've done that a lot this season. So we're going to have to take care of the ball, control the possession, not have any 3 and outs, pressure Brady, of course, you know, keep Gronkowski covered, contain the running backs. Our linebackers are going to have to have big games, and, you know, I think that the Jaguars are the perfect team to be able to take down the Patriots. So that's my preview. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's been an awesome season so far, and I really hope we can advance to the Super Bowl. So I'll be coming at you guys this Sunday with a live stream like I always do when the Jaguars are on the road. So I look forward to seeing you guys then. So this is UC at Jaguar with GenJag.com, and go Jags, baby.
But I think to get a little bit of familiarity, close with that. Yeah, I never graduated. So that's good. That definitely helps out. Yeah.